Hello everyone, this is Brian with netpicks.com. Again this week I would like to cover my favorite time of the week to trade, and that is for the crude oil inventory release. That happens every Wednesday at 10:30, except for holidays. It'll be on Thursday at 11. A great resource that you can use to check out the time of this release and make sure that it is scheduled for Wednesday is a site called forexfactory.com. You'll notice here I'm on Forex Factory from yesterday. This is Wednesday, October 5th at 10:30 a.m. You can see here the expectation before the release was for crude to come out at plus 1.0 million, and that's barrels. It actually came out at minus 4.7 million, so that's a pretty big discrepancy. Based on that number, we could expect crude to head higher pretty significantly. We'll see. I never base my trade decisions on the release of this number, but it is interesting information. It's interesting to watch the market react to the release of this information. But I did want to share a great resource for really any report on the trading session, and that again is forexfactory.com. Now, let's get into the trade plan for trading the release of the crude oil report at 10:30. So as I said last week, one of the things that I do, one of the main rules is we wait 2 minutes after the release. This vertical line right here shows the 10:30 release. You can see there's a little bit of a spike up here based on that number that came out. And but we're not going to start looking to take a trade until 2 minutes after, so that would be 10:32. And that roughly is in this zone right here. So there's the first 10:32 bar right there. So from this point forward, we would begin looking for a potential trade setup. Now the great thing about this report, I want to point out a couple things here before I get into the trades for the session. If you are a trader that is time challenged, in other words, you don't have a lot of time to sit in front of the charts and trade, you could make this a part of your trade plan, and it could be the only thing you do as a trader, and you could be very successful at this. Last week, just to kind of recap, we had a $600 profit on the week on 2 trades. This week's going to be very similar. They're going to be smaller trades, and you'll see why here in a moment. So again, I want to encourage you, if you're a trader that just doesn't have a lot of time, but you can spend 1 hour a week, and in this case today it's going to be 11 minutes, I would encourage you to take a look at this potential possibility here. So let's walk forward and take a look at the trades on the session. So our first setup comes at 10:34. That's 2 minutes after our start time as far as looking for trades. And you can see last week one of the things I talked about, whenever we get a trade setup that's inside the channel, we want to ask for some additional confirmation to prove that price is going to break out and head in our favor. So that extra confirmation is going to, we're going to push it to 51 in this case. The entry actually calculated to, let me see here, to 44. So the trend line was at 48. And so again, we're going to push it above that trend line. We've also got the 50 level that I like to get above. So 51 is the entry that I would put on this particular trade. So 78.51 is where we're going to get in. Notice also, just really quickly, we have a swing right back here at 78.48. So another area that we want to get over. Just ask for a little bit of additional confirmation before we get into this long trade. Either way, it's going to work, but what I want to show you is what are some good practices in trading in making some of these fine-tune adjustments. So our entry 51, our target objective on this trade is going to be 78.77. And I think you can see here by this price action, it's going to hit that full target. It's going to happen at 10:37. We're going to get to a high of 78, so it's 1 penny above our objective. So you're definitely filled on that trade and out for a 26-cent profit per contract on this first trade. Notice also, let me point this trade out here. We did get a short, and we're looking for shorts all the way up here. This short printed here, it's not going to trigger, but again, we would make an adjustment. We would get that entry below this channel line. So for a moment we had this short on, but our long trade continued into its full target objective. So after that, we're again looking for the next trade setup. As I said, we are overbought here. That has us looking for what we call a short reversal. That's a pretty quick trade that we can get into. And a lot of times there are trades that will snap back in our favor pretty quickly. The second setup on the session is a short, and it comes at 10:39. Again, we're dealing with the channel. We need to get below that. So that channel, the entry plots right on top of the channel, and we're going to want to get below that a little bit. I put my entry at 78.44 on this trade, with our full target objective at 78.22. And this trade is going to fairly easily, once it triggers, there's a few bars here where we have our entry out there, but it's not triggered, and then finally on this bar here, we get into that trade, and it goes down and touches our target exactly off of the 1043 bar. I'm sorry, the 1043. There's two 1043s here. So this 1043 gets down to the low of 78.23. Now, full target hit on the second short trade for 21 cents profit per contract traded. So on the day, we have two trades. We have a long and a short, both profitable trades. We use what we call power of quitting. We take two trades on the session. We're looking for two winners. If we get those two winners, we're done. And the other time constraint that I have, or the other constraint I have on the trade plan, is we stop at 11:30. So we'll trade up to an hour. But today, we're done very quickly, as we were last week, in 11 minutes with $470 per contract traded on this crude oil release. So again, I just wanted to cover the trades for this week. Pretty straightforward. Really not a lot of discretion needed there. We just trade the setups as they print using the 7summitstrader.com. If you would like more information about this methodology and the way we use this to trade the market, you can go to netpicks.com and check it out. Again, this is Brian with NetPicks. Good trading to you.